What is going on today, guys? It is Smitty, and we are finally going racing again. So this is going to be our first race of the season at New Smyrna, so it'll be the season opener. Technically, this isn't the first race we've done this year, so we did, in the beginning of the year, we did go to the World Series with the truck, and the Friday race, we had a U-joint issue, but we got it fixed just in time to run the feature, but then the feature got rained out. So the next day they were doing a 50-lap pro truck race, and we were actually good. All the improvements we made in the off season were huge to the truck. On the last practice session, we were actually second fastest out of, I think, 22 trucks. So huge difference compared to last year, but we had some trouble in that race. We didn't qualify too good because I honestly didn't know how I was going to be qualifying because all the adjustments we did in the off season, and I stepped on my foot, didn't go as hard as I could, so I qualified 10th. Could have definitely qualified way better, so I was back in 10th, and going into turn one, there's a little mishap. A truck spun in front of me, and I ended up making contact with them. So after that, the nose was really messed up. The nose was completely pointed inward. It got the radiator. Luckily, it wasn't too much. We actually still have the same nose. We were able to completely straighten it out and get it back to normal again, so we didn't have to buy a new nose. We did put a new radiator in. So it is good to go now. We made a lot of improvements in the off season. We put a manual transmission in the truck. We also did a all new setup, geometry wise, suspension wise. So I think we're going to be even faster for the Saturday night 25-lap race than we were at the World Series. So I'm very, very excited to get in this truck. So we just made it here to the track, and we're getting everything squared away before practice. Got her all shined up again, knocked all the dust off her. She's been sitting in a storage unit for the past month. So she's looking good again. The nose is no longer bent in. We got a lot of new stuff to try with this thing. I'm very, very excited to see how all the changes are and what it's going to actually feel like from what we've done, because it's a completely different truck compared to last season, and I can't wait to get in a full race with it, because whenever we were here for the World Series, we weren't able to do a race with it. We were only able to do practice sessions. We got one lap into the race and then couldn't finish the race, so still have no clue how it's going to be race pace wise, so I'm very, very excited to try all that out. Alright, so we went out for our first practice with the complete new setup on the Pro Truck, and it was phenomenal. It was hooked up, it felt glued, felt stuck. So we did only do one out of the 3 practices because we felt comfortable enough and the way that it was handling. And I've driven New Smyrna so much for the past couple of years. I know how the track is. I really just need to see how the truck was going to handle during a race pace scenario. So like I said, we only did the one practice, and then we had to move on to a 8-lap heat race. So in the heat race, we did start off 6th. So it was a pretty good starting position. So it was 6th out of 12. So we were starting kind of mid-pack. We are able to move up through the pack. We actually got up to 4th, and then we ended up dropping back to 5th. Me and the 31 did end up getting together a little bit. I guess I didn't give him enough room going into turn 1, and he literally just came up across my nose, and it completely detached my whole front bumper here. As you could see in the video, it was kind of flapping around up here. So we had to take some sheet metal and put some sheet metal here, and sheet metal here to hold this on together for the feature. In the heat race, once the tires did come to and we were doing race pace, it was a little bit too loose going in, and I couldn't get off. It was kicking out. It was still pretty glued to the track, but I just didn't have enough traction as everybody else did. So we made some adjustments going into the feature. As you can see here, coming up in the feature race, it was a lot better. So here's the feature. So after that wild feature, we were able to get all the way up into third in the beginning of the race. And then they introduced the cone rule, which is the first time I've ever done the cone rule at New Smyrna Speedway. As you can see in the video, there were certain people that were struggling with the cone rule, ran over the cone multiple times, got black flagged, then they unblack flagged the person. So that was kind of frustrating. We did a lot of riding around. We wasted a lot of time during the race, which sucks, which led to the race eventually getting called after that incident that I was in. We were going down the back stretch and I gave him plenty of room. He just kept driving me down. And I was pretty much 2 lanes lower than what I should have been down the back stretch. And at that point, he just kept driving. And we literally made contact with him right here. So I was not intentionally trying to hit him. I was here. As you can see from where we made contact, I was there. I was on his quarter panel and I tried to get off of his quarter panel the best I could, but he wasn't budging at all. And eventually when I did get off, he just broke loose up into the corner. It's not how I want to race. It completely tore up my car. This is all detached now. Our hood completely detached from in here. So now we have even more body work to do than we were gonna have to before when we got back. That's really frustrating because as you can see, we had a really fast truck the whole race. We were running down the 21 truck. Once we got to him, it was hard to get around him. He was playing super defensive. So we were just trying to be patient and trying to get it worked out because I'm still trying to learn how to drive this truck. It's nothing like the late model, but we were a lot faster. It was a lot more glued to the track. If it wasn't called after that cone rule, so with the cone rule, if nobody goes high, the people from the back can come up, they can pick up some spots. So honestly, I think we could have got a 3rd or a 4th place truck because we were fast. We just got stuck behind somebody, and then they ended up calling the race after that incident, going down the backstretch due to rain coming in. They wanted to get the rest of the races in, so it sucks we only got to do 14 laps out of the whole race. I was really looking forward to doing the whole race and seeing how it all played out, because like I said, I was really comfortable in the truck compared to all the other times we've been there, and we finally got this thing running good and it was finally hooked up. So it's a huge bummer, but I'll take the 6th place finish. It's the best finish we've had in this truck so far, and I know next time we go back, we got a good piece. Everybody knows we're in the game now, so I think we have a good chance of chasing that championship. Becky Monopoly's truck, that thing was hooked up, so it's gonna be hard to catch her, but I hope we can figure it out. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next video, and hopefully we'll be faster the next time we hit the track with this thing.